us, Brandon Leake, America's Got Talent, season 15 winner, spoken word genius, all of that stuff. Welcome, Brandon.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here. It means a lot.
Absolutely. So I wanted to kind of start from the beginning. So can you tell our viewers a little bit about your journey to America Got Talent?
Yeah. So I won't go too far back because that's a long story. But essentially, back in my sophomore year of sophomore year of college, I decided I wasn't gonna play college basketball anymore because I felt like God was calling me to something else. So I started this little artistry collective entitled Call to Move, and it was a bunch of weirdos who had no place to go really, and so we just through these open mics. Our first one that we did had like 10, 12 people, and our last one we did had like 400 who showed up. And from there, I just kept chasing after it, from joining the Sacramento Slam team to touring in 2016. And then in 2017, I tried out for AGT and didn't make the show. And then I went back and I toured again from 2018 to 2019, and then tried out for the show again. And then, came out on top this last time around.
So what do you think changed between 2017 and 2019 for you? Do you think that you got more experience? Do you think that it was just the timing? What changed?
I think it was my mentality about how I chased after my art. I think I stopped just loving spoken word and I started respecting it a lot more. And I think the difference in the two is that when you love something, you'll do it. Like you'll go, like, I love basketball, so I go play it. But if you respect it, you practice it, you get better at it, you hone the skill of it. And so that's what I think was the main difference.
Now, you talked a little bit about basketball. I'm getting off track, but I need to know. So were you like a hooper? You could play, or did you just think you could play?
Like, I played Division II college basketball.
Okay, so you could play?
Yeah, like I could probably play for an overseas basketball team.
Love it. Love it. Okay, so let's talk about your overall experience on America's Got Talent. Tell us a little bit about what that was like for you.
Yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. AGT is wildly accommodating in terms of, the staff and all the people, and then the talent in terms of the other artists who I was around. They were great. Like, I built lifelong friendships with some of these people, from Selena Graves to Shakira McGrath, Double Dragons, and even Broken Roots with Austin and Joey. Like, it's been absolutely phenomenal to be a part of the AGT and NBC family in that regard.
And what was the biggest piece of advice that you took away from that experience?
Oh man, be you. Like, people get invested into your art not just because you're a good artist, but because you're a good person. Like, I think that a lot of people voted for me and cheered me on and wanted me to do well because they genuinely wanted me to win as much as they wanted my art to win. And when you go up there and you be yourself, then you don't have to front, you don't have to fake it. You just get the chance to just be you, and it's so much more beautiful that way.
And let's talk about that winning experience. You're on the stage, you're in the finals. What were you going through? What were you thinking about? And did you feel like, did your gut tell you, I've got this, or you didn't know?
Oh, not at all. I was thoroughly convinced I was taking third place. I was like, all right, cool. So I looked around. I'm like, top 10, I'll make it to the top 5. And then when it hit top 5, I was like, I'll probably be the third out. I'll probably take third place, and then Christina Ray will probably win the whole thing. That was my thought process. And yeah, lo and behold, when Christina went out third, I was like, oh shoot, I might win. And I looked around and I saw, Broken Roots over there to my right, and I was like, let's go. And so yeah, like, it was super beautiful. Also, another person who I absolutely loved from the show, I was so happy she made it to the top 10, is good old Kennedy Dodds, the young country singer. She's gonna be awesome one of these days. Like, I can't wait to see her blow up.
I love that. Now, how has your life changed since winning America's Got Talent?
It's oddly changed greatly and not changed at all. It's changed greatly in the sense that I have so much more access to do the things that I desire to do and do the things that I love. Like I'm directing a short film that I wrote entitled Complexity. It'll be released to the world sometime between uh, between November and January
Of this
of this
year?
year, next year. Um, and writing more work, getting into television and stuff like that. Like those are stuff that I've always aspired to do that I would have never been able to do before. But in terms of my personhood, I'm I'm the same old Brandon that I was before the show, after the show, and that's what I take most pride in, is that success can change people, and instead of it changing me, I think it just made me better.
That's amazing. That's a great answer. So, season 16, contestant, June 1st, I believe, is the season premiere. What advice would you give the contestants for this new upcoming season?
June 1st. Can't believe it's coming up that quick that it's been a year. Um, my advice to anyone and everyone who's competing this year: one, rehearse your behinds off. Make sure that you put all the practice time in that you can. Whenever you have rehearsal time, take it, run with it, get all the rest you can possibly get, because you're going to be tired. It's a part of the journey. And then third, but not least, I'd actually say it's the most important, is what I said before. Be you. Don't try to fake or propagate this alternative idea of who you are. Just be yourself, because there's nothing more beautiful than knowing that you won being you and being accepted as, an artist and as a person for being who you genuinely are.
I love that. Now, Brandon, I'm going to put you on the spot for a minute. I need to see a little bit of your talent. Is there something that you can do off the top of your head for our viewers?
Um, ooh. Yeah, actually, I got a poem for you. Um, Tension is defined as the act or state of being stretched or strained. I'm in the heart of that right now. Well, I think all of us are existing in the tension of knowing that that Christ has already come, yet knowing that he still is to come again. Two very beautiful realities that have somehow created such unease. This time parallels this vacuum of space that we know, distressingly cold that it turns warm hearts glacially frail, splintered by the slightest touch of disappointment. Our time agonizingly shoulders the weight of this burden. Inauguration of our faith, like oxygen from our pores, it's spiritually asphyxiating. And this is what I've become. Because if it's doubts about Christ's initial existence or control's continual persistence, because I've come to know that God is real, but I struggle leaning on him, because honestly, I'm longing for autonomy. Tell me that death is inevitable, but it still pulls on my strings. So it might as well be on my own accord, right? I rush through time like I hate being in his presence when truly I fear his absence. And yet I still run from the one who exists outside of it. I guess what I'm saying is I feel like I'm racing against the clock these days. And I'm really just trying to slow down as much as I can.
Bravo. That was fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Now, I did a little research and I want to know if this is still the case, because I know that we're, still in the midst of a pandemic. But is the Vegas tour for AGT finalists at the Luxor still going to be a thing when the world opens up?
It will be. Now, when? We'll find out, but you will see me there.
I love that. Now, I also looked into this Dreamers training. Do you want to tell our viewers a little bit about that and what else is next for you?
Oh, yes. So Dreamers Training, that is coming up in June. You will want to register. It is $150 for adults. It is $75 for youth. Make sure that you register now. If you don't know where to register, go follow me on my Instagram, Brandon, BRANDON underscore Leake, LEAKE underscore CTM. Make sure you go register to be a part of it. It's a goal planning and setting workshop in which we're going to be using spoken word as the vessel to be able to learn more about ourselves, create a roadmap towards success, and then inevitably create some really dope poetry in the process as well. So that's one. Two, I already mentioned my short film is coming out. We're getting ready to start filming, at the end of June and the top of July, which is going to be phenomenal. Um, I have a book that'll be releasing in January, in which I'm going to be touring for. And I have another surprise, but I can't really
Tell
talk
me,
about
tell
it
me,
too
tell
much
me,
yet.
tell me.
Paperwork has been signed where I'm not able to really say a whole lot, but just know I might be in your home very soon.
I love it. Brendan, thank you so much. This is wonderful. I'm excited about the new season. I'm excited about everything that you have going. Sounds like there's a lot of projects back to back. So thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your journey and what's next for you.
Oh, thank y'all for the opportunity. It meant the world that I was able to be here today.